Hi, my name is Dustin, and today on the barrel, Suntory World Whiskey Ao. Ao. All right, so this is super interesting. At face value, you would think that this is a Japanese whiskey, which it is, sort of, because it's actually a blend of 5 different types of whiskey around the world. So in this bottle, there's Irish whiskey, Scotch whiskey, American whiskey, Canadian whiskey, and Japanese whiskey, which is super cool. But it also kind of makes sense because Suntory has a subsidiary called Beam Suntory, which owns so many things, everything from Lafroig to Maker's Mark to Crevassier to Hibiki, just a ton of different brands that you probably know and love. So it kind of makes sense that they would try something where they blend together a bunch of different whiskeys that they themselves have and make a product that is Ao. I'm pretty sure it's Ao. I think it's Ao. At first I thought it was Ao, which would have been way better. Ao! But I'm pretty sure it's Ao. I'm sure that means something in Japanese. I was too lazy to look it up, so if you know, put in the comments down below what Ao actually means. Maybe it just means blend. That would be pretty on point. I have had a little bit of this already before. This one really threw me for a loop. Sometimes my wife will come downstairs here and give me a mystery whiskey. She brought this one up one night and I was trying so hard to guess what it was because I just couldn't. Like, it didn't taste like any one particular type of whiskey that I could say this is definitely a bourbon, this is definitely a rye or a Scotch or something like that. I had no idea. And for that reason, it's a really fun whiskey to drink. I think, well, we'll get into it. So let's take a look at the bottle. Really like just the squared off look of this bottle and the wraparound label there, which is kind of cool. I don't really know if like the back of it is symmetrical, if it's supposed to sit more like that. Probably, that looks better. On the front here, a blend of 5 major whiskeys. Suntory World Whiskey, Ao, Irish, Scotch, American, Canadian, Japanese, 43% alcohol, 700 milliliters, which I'm noticing is a trend in all types of whiskey nowadays. Flipping it around, we got a lot to say on the back here. I won't go through all of it. Once again, lists off all the types of 5 major whiskeys that are in this. Suntory's blenders carefully selected the malt and grain whiskeys produced at Beam Suntory owned distilleries. And then goes into say, meticulously blended. Oh, here we go. Ao, Ao, is named after the deep blue of the majestic oceans that connect our world. Oh. That's way cooler than it just meaning blend. That's cool. You know, I would, well, never mind. So I do wonder sort of what the target market is for something like this. I think if you're an avid whiskey drinker, this probably interests you. It interested me more because I was just like, oh, it's a blend of bourbon and Japanese and Canadian and like all these different whiskeys into one. I don't think that's ever been done before. And if it has, I have never tried it. So yeah, I'm all in. But I think if you are more of just your average whiskey drinker, you might see this and not think it's really anything too special other than just another like Japanese whiskey that you'd want to try. But the fact that it's 5 different whiskeys blended together is pretty cool to me. Let's give it a shot. But before we do, if you could just subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, give it a thumbs down. And be sure to leave a comment down below if you've had this whiskey, or if you know of any other whiskeys that are like crazy blends like this, I'd love to know about them. All right, classic screw top, of course. Pour a little bit. All right. So, let's see what we got here. Really nice, I mean, very golden, almost amber, a little bit. Yeah, on the nose, immediately sweet, immediately honey, vanilla. That's kind of all it's giving off. Maybe a little bit of something floral, perhaps some honeysuckle, but I'm not really getting, there's a little bit, I guess. Once you get acclimated to the sweetness, there's a little bit of grain coming through, like single malted barley grain, which is maybe coming from that Scotch, but ultimately sweet, vibrant nose. Certainly nothing dark so far. Let's see how it tastes. It's just so confusing. Like what, I don't know what, like if that was in a blind, I have no idea what you could even categorize that as. Mostly in the direction of Irish or Japanese. I don't think I would say that this is like bourbon or rye or even single malt, really. It's very, very sweet on the palate as it is on the nose. You get a little more, I don't know if I want to say like crackers, but like wafers. I'm thinking of those long rectangular wafers with a little thin strip of like vanilla cream in the middle, but just like the plain flavor of those. I mean, if you really start to look for it, and I think if you know that you're drinking 5 different whiskeys and what each one of these are, I think you can start to sort of pick it apart slightly. The one that gets lost for me the most, or maybe is I don't know what the percentages are of the blends in here, but the one that is the most subdued is the bourbon for me, for sure. It's very, very like light vanilla, light honey, a little bit of, you know, like I said, wafer and stuff, which leans mostly towards the Irish. One nice thing about this is it's surprisingly on the cheaper side. You'd think with the production that must go into this that it's pretty involved both physically and logistically, having to gather whiskey from, I think it's 5 countries in 3 continents. I mean, I know it's all under the same company, which I'm sure helps a ton. Still, I mean, that takes a lot of effort. I think this appeals mostly to somebody who is really into whiskey already, or maybe is just starting to get into whiskey. This is a really interesting one. I don't think it really fits in any one of those categories, and is also on the cheaper side, and also really drinkable and approachable. It's not a super high in your face proof, but I think it's fun. I think it's fun to sit there and like look for each different type of whiskey with every sip. It's a fun good time. Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in next time when I repair my furnace.